When you're dealing with ambivalence, it's really a tough scenario. If you're an unfaithful spouse, your mind is racing, you're not wanting to hurt any more people, but you're just not sure. If you're a betrayed spouse, it's gut-wrenching because you don't know if your spouse wants to choose you or their affair partner. You don't know where they're going to end up. And it's like being re-wounded all over again every day. And so Rick oftentimes teaches this principle, and I'm going to help describe a few things first. Number one, an unfaithful spouse is many times ambivalent because they don't know where to choose. They don't want to choose their spouse. They don't want to choose their affair partner, so they're kind of stuck. And here's some of the reasons why they're ambivalent about their spouse, and this may help you if you're a betrayed spouse. Number one, they don't want to re-wound you. They're just not sure that they can come home and stay home and not relapse and maybe have another affair or act out again or go back to the affair partner that they've been with for so long. Number two is they still may be full of resentment towards you, the betrayed spouse. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but they still may be defending themselves, and they still may be upset with you because they perceive that you rejected them or weren't affectionate enough or treated them like another child, or all of the different reasons that we talk about so often. The fact is, though, they're just not healthy enough, and they probably have too much bitterness or resentment to choose you. They're also maybe unsure that they can change. Why come back to the same situation if you're just going to keep doing the same thing? And in their mind, they can't see clearly yet. They also aren't sure if you'll take them back. So to choose you is a huge struggle for them. Now, why won't they choose their affair partner? Well, at some level, they may be sobering up. You know, they're kind of in the hallway. They're in the middle. They're not quite coming back home and choosing their betrayed spouse, but they're also not really wanting to go back to the affair partner. They're kind of in the middle, and they just don't know why, and they just don't know what to do. They may be confused. They may have started to see the light that maybe the affair partner isn't everything that they thought the affair partner was going to be. Maybe it's not the oasis. Maybe the infatuation is drying up. They just don't know that that's where they want to go. So Rick has this masterful way of helping the unfaithful who is extremely ambivalent. And what he'll tell you to do, and I'll tell you the same thing, is, and it kind of varies. So if you're not someone who's a Christian or believes in God, he's going to tell you, as will I, to choose to get help. You don't know where to choose, you don't know where you want to go, but get help from an expert, someone like us, that can at least help you work on you. I'm not saying to choose self, because quite honestly, you wouldn't have had an affair if you didn't choose yourself and to act in the best interests of you each and every day. I was there. I get it. But he's going to tell you to choose to get help and to choose to go forward in your own recovery. Because if you'll do that, you'll begin to see things slowly but surely. It's okay, and betrayed spouses, please don't get angry at this. It's okay to not choose your spouse temporarily. And it's okay to not choose your affair partner temporarily. But you've got to do something, and that something is to choose to get the right kind of help so at least you're pursuing clarity for you. If you are someone that believes in God, if you are a Christian, if you will, Rick's going to tell you to choose to pursue God. Because if you're going to pursue God, you're not going to want to do any more harm. You're going to want to act in the best interest of another. You're going to stop fixating on yourself and your needs, your desires, your anger, your hurt, your resentment, your this, your that, and you're going to focus on the Lord and focus on what He wants you to do, and lordship, humility, reverence, and a dependence upon Him. You're going to begin to pursue Him to find clarity. You're going to be pursuing the highest form of good because you want to act in a good way. You want to act in the highest form of good that you can possibly act in, and that's only going to be found for you in Christ and what He is telling you to do. You can't blame your affair on the Lord. You can't blame your addiction on the Lord. Not at all. But maybe it's time to stop fixating on your spouse or fixating on your affair partner or even your addiction or your affair and start to really focus and really start to cry out to the Lord and choose Him every day. Maybe it's reading the Bible. Maybe it's worship. Maybe it's reading books that you feel like you need to read. But you've got to do something instead of just lying down in ambivalence, because it's not fair to your spouse. It's not fair to the affair partner. It's not fair to yourself, because you're doing more damage to yourself and to the other parties rather than at least choosing to, as we say here at Affair Recovery, do no more harm. Work on you. Get help. Take our Hope for Healing class. Read our free resources. There's a lot of things that you can do to get help. You don't have to remain stuck. And you certainly don't have to remain ambivalent for very long.